Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. You know how it is, the week's winding down, and you're already daydreaming about those precious weekend hours, right?
Absolutely. That feeling of anticipation for some well-deserved downtime is universal.
Exactly. And this week, we're diving into those weekend vibes, specifically those contrasting ideas of the perfect escape,
Should be fascinating. Everyone has their own way to recharge.
for sure. And to kickstart our deep dive, we're taking inspiration from an episode called Weekend Plans from the podcast Learn English with Us. Now, before you think, wait, weekend plans? That's too simple. Trust me, even seemingly ordinary choices can reveal a lot about who we are and what we need to unwind.
Oh, I agree. It's those everyday decisions that often hold the most insightful psychological clues. So how are these weekend plans going to enlighten us today?
Well, in this episode, we meet two people with totally different weekend styles. First, we've got Alex, who's all about that mountain life. Hiking, fresh air, you know the drill.
Ah, the call of the wild.
Yeah.
I can already picture the breathtaking views, the physical challenge, that sense of being surrounded by nature's grandeur. There's a certain serenity that comes with that kind of environment.
Right. And what I found really interesting was how Alex enjoys both solo hikes and going with friends. That kind of flexibility got me thinking.
Interesting point. It suggests they find different kinds of fulfillment in both experiences, right? On one hand, solo hikes often lead to introspection, a chance to connect with yourself amidst the vastness of nature.
Makes sense. It's like the mountains provide this incredible backdrop for self-reflection.
Exactly. Yeah. But then sharing a challenging hike with friends, reaching a summit together, that creates a different type of bond, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
The shared accomplishment, the camaraderie.
Totally. It becomes a bonding experience, a shared memory in the making.
Exactly. Different social dynamics, different rewards.
Yeah.
And speaking of different energy, this episode also introduces us to Sam, who's all about soaking up the sun and the social scene at the beach.
Yes, Sam, our resident beach enthusiast. And we can't forget that detail about them loving to build sandcastles.
I know, right? That little detail speaks volumes, don't you think? Building sandcastles is such a playful activity. It suggests someone who enjoys the simple things, the ephemeral nature of creation.
It's true, especially knowing the tide will wash it away eventually. There's a certain acceptance of impermanence there, perhaps.
Perhaps. And think about the contrast between the mountains and the ocean, too. Both vast, both awe-inspiring in their own way. But the mountains, they represent permanence, something enduring. The ocean, on the other hand, it's all about constant change, rhythm, and flow.
Wow, that's a really cool way to think about it. So are you saying our preferred environment for relaxation could reflect something deeper about how we approach life itself? Those drawn to the mountains might find comfort in feeling humbled by something vast and enduring, while those who gravitate to the beach might be more in tune with life's constant ebb and flow.
It's a fascinating concept, isn't it? Of course, it's not always so black and white. People are complex. But these environment preferences could offer a glimpse into how we each find peace and rejuvenation.
It makes you wonder, what does our own preferred weekend spot say about us, really? And it's not just about the environment either. Remember how Alex enjoys hiking both alone and with company, while Sam is all about that social beach life? That difference in socializing struck me as another key insight into their approaches to relaxation.
Absolutely. It highlights how varied our needs for social interaction can be, especially when it comes to unwinding. Some people, maybe like Sam, find being around others energizing, a vital part of their relaxation. For others, it's more about seeking solitude to recharge.
And that solitude might look different for everyone, too. Some might find it in a quiet corner with a good book, while others, like Alex, might seek it out on a solo hike in the middle of nature.
Exactly. It's about finding what brings you that sense of peace and rejuvenation. Speaking of which, remember that little detail about Alex checking the weather before the hike? I thought that was quite telling.
Oh, yeah. That small detail really piqued my curiosity, too. It seems like such a simple act, but it made me think about different approaches to planning versus spontaneity.
Right. Alex might appreciate a sense of predictability, knowing what to expect, feeling prepared, whereas someone like Sam might be more go with the flow, embracing the unexpected nature of, say, a day at the beach.
It's fascinating how, even in our leisure time, those tendencies can shine through. And finally, remember how they both agreed to share their experiences next week. That got me thinking about the role of anticipation and reflection in how we enjoy leisure activities.
Oh, absolutely. It's like that saying, shared joy is double joy. Anticipating an experience, looking forward to it, that builds excitement and adds to the overall enjoyment. And then reflecting on those experiences afterwards, sharing those memories with others. allows us to relive those positive feelings and strengthen our social connections.
It's like we get to savor the experience multiple times over. And that brings us to the end of our deep dive this week. But before we go, we want to leave you with something to ponder.
Always. We love a good thought-provoking question.
As you plan your own weekend adventures, dear listeners, ask yourselves, mountains or beach? Solo or with friends? And how do you think those choices reflect your own unique approach to relaxation and recharging?
Happy unwinding, everyone.
And we'll see you next time for another deep dive.